8 disgusting things narcissists do when there is no contact. Narcissists can be an incredibly frustrating and toxic presence in your life, especially if you've had to cut ties with one. But what happens when there's no contact? If you've recently removed a narcissist from your life, or are in the process of doing so, you're likely to feel a range of emotions: relief, confusion, even anxiety. But here's the thing. Cutting them off doesn't always mean you're safe from their toxic influence. Narcissists often engage in disturbing behaviors, even when there's no direct contact. Understanding these behaviors is crucial for your own well-being. So let's dive into what these disgusting things are and why they do them. The silent treatment, a tool of control. One of the most commonly known tactics used by narcissists when they can no longer directly interact with you is the silent treatment. But it's not just about being ignored, it's a form of emotional manipulation and control. By refusing to acknowledge your presence or your attempts to communicate, they're essentially trying to punish you for standing up to them or for distancing yourself from their toxic influence. When a narcissist employs the silent treatment, it can feel incredibly isolating. This behavior forces you to question yourself, to wonder if you did something wrong or if they're upset. You might start overanalyzing situations and replaying past interactions in your mind, thinking it's your fault. But the silent treatment is a deliberate tactic used by narcissists to regain control over you without even speaking a word. It's a toxic form of emotional manipulation that is designed to make you feel as if you're the one to blame, even when you're not. The ultimate goal of the silent treatment is to get you to reach out first, so that they can reassert control and power over you. It's a strategy to force reconciliation on their terms and keep the relationship on their terms without ever truly addressing the underlying issues. 2. Hoovering, the narcissist's favorite comeback strategy. Hoovering is a term used to describe the tactics narcissists employ to suck you back into their orbit after you've successfully distanced yourself. It's named after the vacuum brand Hoover, because like a vacuum, they want to suck you back in with various attempts to get you to re-engage. After all, they can't stand the idea of losing their source of supply, whether that's admiration, validation, or control over you. One of the most disgusting things narcissists do when there's no contact is initiate hoovering through fake apologies, promises to change, or emotional manipulation. They might send you texts that are vague but enticing, like "I've been thinking about you," or "I miss you." These messages are designed to reopen the door to communication, and before you know it, you're back in the cycle of narcissistic abuse. Hoovering can also take other forms. They may stalk you on social media, use mutual friends to check up on you, or even spread rumors to get your attention. If they feel as though their supply is running low or you've moved on without them, they'll stop at nothing to pull you back into their toxic web. It's exhausting, confusing, and often leaves you questioning your own emotions. But don't fall for it. Hoovering is just another way for the narcissist to regain control. Smear campaigns, turning others against you. When there's no direct contact, narcissists often turn to smear campaigns to try to maintain control over the situation. Since they can no longer manipulate you directly, they'll often attempt to tarnish your reputation by spreading lies and false information about you to others. This tactic is meant to paint you in a negative light and gain sympathy from others, making you seem like the bad guy in the situation. The goal here is to isolate you and make others question your version of events. Narcissists thrive on drama and chaos, and when they can't get it from you directly, they'll manufacture it elsewhere. They might spread rumors, create drama in your social circle, or use their charm to manipulate other people into siding with them. This smear campaign can have devastating effects on your relationships, both personal and professional, as it makes it harder for others to trust you and believe in your integrity. The most disgusting part of a narcissist's smear campaign is that it's typically based on nothing but lies. They will twist the truth, exaggerate, or invent stories to create a narrative that serves their own agenda. Unfortunately, many people will believe what the narcissist says, especially if they are skilled manipulators who have the ability to charm their way into others' good graces. 4. Love bombing. The narcissist's false re-entry. Another tactic narcissists use when there is no contact is love bombing. This is often an attempt to regain control over the situation by showering you with affection and attention, something that can be extremely confusing if you're still emotionally attached to the narcissist. Love bombing is a manipulative technique where the narcissist overwhelms you with compliments, gifts, and promises of a perfect future together. If you've ever had a narcissist in your life, you might have experienced this phase in the past. They might have told you you're the best thing that ever happened to them, or that they couldn't imagine life without you. It's intoxicating and seductive, and it can easily pull you back in if you're not careful. However, this love is not genuine. It's a manipulation tactic. The narcissist may be attempting to exploit your vulnerabilities, soften you up, and get you to drop your guard so they can continue abusing you. Once they have you back in their grasp, the love bombing phase will fade, and they will return to their usual toxic behavior. But during the love bombing phase, they'll make you believe that things are truly different. Don't be fooled. This is just another way for them to reclaim their hold over you. 5. Triangulation. Using others as pawns. When there is no direct contact, narcissists may resort to triangulation as a way to manipulate and control the situation. Triangulation occurs when a narcissist involves a third party to create jealousy, insecurity, or competition. They might talk about an ex, a friend, or a new romantic interest to make you feel threatened, anxious, or inferior. For example, a narcissist might casually mention how much they get along with someone else, or how someone else seems to understand them in ways that you never did. This is a way of making you feel inadequate or replaceable. In some cases, narcissists might even go as far as to provoke a third party into interacting with you in ways that cause drama or chaos. The ultimate goal of triangulation is to make you feel like you're in competition with someone else for the narcissist's attention, affection, or approval. It's incredibly destructive, as it feeds into your insecurities and creates unnecessary conflict. It's a tool narcissists use to maintain a sense of superiority, and it's particularly effective when you're in no contact because they know they can manipulate others to do their dirty work. 6. Playing the victim, manipulating your empathy. One of the most disgusting behaviors narcissists engage in when there's no contact is playing the victim. Narcissists are experts at twisting situations to make themselves appear as if they are the ones being wronged or mistreated. Even when they're the ones who initiated the breakup or toxic situation, they will position themselves as the victim in an attempt to manipulate your empathy. The narcissist may reach out to others to express their hurt feelings or claim that they've been abandoned or misunderstood. They might even try to contact you indirectly through mutual friends, playing up their emotional distress in order to get sympathy. They want to make you feel guilty for leaving them, as if you've done something wrong by cutting off contact. This tactic is meant to make you question your decision and ultimately lure you back into their toxic orbit. What's truly manipulative about playing the victim is that it's not about a real emotional connection. It's about getting you to feel sorry for them and in turn giving them what they want: attention, validation, or a return to the unhealthy relationship. Narcissists thrive on the power dynamic that victimhood provides them. They want to make you feel like the bad guy, even when you've done nothing but try to protect yourself. 7. Narcissistic rage, the explosion of anger. When there's no contact and the narcissist can no longer control you, another reaction you may encounter is narcissistic rage. This is a volatile, intense explosion of anger that is often disproportionate to the situation at hand. If the narcissist feels threatened by your distance or rejection, they may lash out in an attempt to reassert dominance over you. Narcissistic rage can manifest in various ways, such as verbal abuse, threats, or attempts to destroy your reputation. The narcissist may start to blame you for the breakdown of the relationship, accuse you of betrayal, or even attempt to destroy your life in some way. Their anger is fueled by their fragile ego, and they can't stand the thought of being rejected or ignored. To them, it's a direct assault on their sense of superiority, and they will go to great lengths to try to punish you for it. While this outburst may seem like an overreaction, it's actually quite common in narcissistic behavior. Their egos are fragile, and any sign of rejection or loss of control can trigger an explosive response. It's one of the most alarming aspects of dealing with a narcissist, because even when you think they've moved on, their inability to handle rejection can result in aggressive and irrational behavior. 8. Gaslighting. Questioning your reality. Gaslighting is one of the most insidious forms of manipulation employed by narcissists, and it doesn't stop when there's no contact. Gaslighting involves distorting the truth to make you doubt your own perception of reality. The narcissist might try to convince you that events didn't happen the way you remember, or that you're being irrational or over-emotional about something that caused you pain. Even when there's no direct communication, narcissists will attempt to distort your sense of reality through indirect means. For example, they might leave passive-aggressive messages, create confusion by contradicting their own actions, or leave subtle hints in social media posts to manipulate how you feel. Their ultimate goal is to make you feel like you're the one who's crazy or wrong, which gives them an even greater sense of control. Gaslighting is particularly harmful because it can make you question your thoughts, memories, and emotions. It's an exhausting and confusing process, and it can lead you to feel isolated and insecure. Narcissists use this tactic because it weakens your confidence and makes it easier for them to control the narrative. Even when they're not directly speaking to you, they can still manipulate you by causing confusion in your mind. And this conclusion: dealing with a narcissist is no easy feat, and when you cut off contact, it doesn't mean they'll just vanish into thin air. Narcissists have a vast array of manipulative tactics they employ to maintain control and exert influence over you, even from a distance. From playing the victim and gaslighting to engaging in hoovering and smear campaigns, narcissists will stop at nothing to keep you under their grip. It's important to recognize these behaviors for what they are: toxic attempts at emotional manipulation. Understanding how narcissists behave when there is no contact is essential for your own emotional protection. The goal is to build resilience and stay firm in your decision to stay away from their destructive influence. When you understand the lengths to which they will go to re-enter your life, you'll be better equipped to recognize their tactics and protect your own mental and emotional well-being. At the end of the day, cutting off a narcissist is a courageous step towards healing. And while they may use underhanded tactics to try to pull you back in, your peace of mind is worth much more than their games. Stay strong, trust your instincts, and don't let their toxic influence disrupt your life. Frequently asked questions: why do narcissists act like nothing happened after no contact? Narcissists often see no contact as a challenge to their power. They believe they should be the center of attention at all times. So if you're ignoring them, it triggers their need to regain control. They might act like nothing happened to downplay your decision and continue to manipulate you back into their lives. 2. How can I deal with a narcissist who is trying to hoover me back in? The best way to deal with hoovering is to stay firm in your boundaries. Don't respond to any attempts at contact, and make sure you don't get sucked back into their cycle. Stay emotionally detached and focus on your own healing. 3. Can a narcissist ever change? Narcissists rarely change, especially if they don't seek therapy or have a genuine desire to improve. Their behaviors are ingrained and often fueled by deep-rooted insecurities. While they may temporarily change for manipulation, the core issues usually remain. 4. Why do narcissists try to make others dislike you? Narcissists thrive on control and validation. By making others dislike you, they can ensure you remain isolated and more dependent on them for validation. It also helps them create a narrative where they are the victim and you are the aggressor. 5. How do I stay strong when dealing with narcissistic abuse? Strength comes from self-awareness and a commitment to setting boundaries. Surround yourself with supportive people, seek professional help if necessary, and focus on rebuilding your self-worth and mental health after the narcissistic abuse. In closing, navigating the aftermath of no contact with a narcissist can be incredibly challenging, but it's a crucial step towards reclaiming your emotional well-being and peace of mind. Narcissists will employ a variety of disgusting tactics to try and re-enter your life, from gaslighting and hoovering to smear campaigns and playing the victim. However, by understanding these manipulative behaviors, You empower yourself to stay strong and unwavering in your decision to protect your mental and emotional health. Remember, their attempts to regain control are not a reflection of your worth, but rather a desperate effort to sustain their own fragile egos. Stay firm, trust yourself, and know that your healing and happiness are far more important than any attempt they make to drag you back into their toxic world.